if you want to stick around, you certainly can. We're going to be working on the swimming in Qi, part 3. And then after that, we'll do our fall exercises. And just a reminder, our fall exercises will be changing tomorrow. So we might want to brush up on those fall exercises that Henry taught us on Wednesday. And you can access those by contacting him directly. And then he'll give you a link. And I think it's like a little bit, it's like either $5 if you have taken his class before, and $10 if you have. But it's really great. Okay, so swimming in Qi part 3. Let's review part 1 and part 2. That's the easiest way to get to part 3. So we start with part 1. The palms are facing up. We're inhaling as the arms extend and the hips push back. So that's our inhale. And then the shoulders rotating the palms. So now that the palms are facing out, exhaling as we sweep the arms around and back, rotating the wrists. I'm trying to stay in frame. So rotating the wrists so that the palms are then facing up again. Inhaling and exhaling. Okay. So we're going to keep that in mind for part 3. Part 3 is very similar to this. Inhaling and exhaling. Opening up the throat, opening up the chest, rotating the wrists. And then for part 2, once again, we have that transition move. So we're inhaling just like part 1. And then this time, when the shoulders rotate, the palms are going to face the earth. So we've inhaled, exhaling, palms facing the earth. Inhaling up the torso to just underneath the clavicle, pushing out into the sides. That's all an inhale. Exhaling, bringing the index fingers together in a V. So inhaling. And then exhaling, bringing those index fingers into a V. One more time, inhaling. And then exhaling. From here to start part 3, we're simply going to stand. And standing back where we're upright with the palms facing the sky, the elbows back by our side. And then we're going to turn to the left. So me mirroring you. I'm going to turn to the right. You're going to turn to the left. We're going at about 45 degrees. Okay, so we're not turning all the way to the left. We're turning about 45 degrees. We're going to do the modified version first, and then the classic version. So the modified version is very similar to the Ren exercise in the basic games. You're going to take the foot that's closest to the screen, which is your right foot, and pop it up so that the heel is up off the ground. Palms once again are by your waist, and all you're doing is that same move from part 1. So you're inhaling as you extend the arms in front with the hips pushing back, flipping the shoulders so now the palms are facing outward. There we go. And then that was your inhale, and then we're exhaling as we stand up, sweeping the arms back behind us, rotating the wrists so the palms are facing up. Inhaling and exhale. Opening the throat, opening the chest, in and out. Now, you can probably guess the classic version. Instead of popping the heel up, you're going to take that knee up. Now, one thing that will help is wearing pants that don't get stuck. I did not remember this aspect when I first started this morning. So these pants get a little stuck. But if you have pants that don't stick, it makes it much easier. So the knee comes up, the palms are once again by the waist, and then you're inhaling as you shoot that foot back behind you, extending the leg, rotating the wrists, and then exhaling. Right? Inhaling, sinking with the supporting leg as you extend your right leg back behind you. That's an inhale. And then exhaling as you come up, sweeping the arms out to the side. And if you want, you can even lean back a little bit. Once again, opening the throat, opening the chest. Inhaling. And exhaling. Then we're going to switch sides. So we're going to bring that foot down. Switch over now to the right. For our modified version, the left heel comes up off the ground so that your left toes and the ball of your feet can push against the earth. And we're inhaling, exhaling, in and out. If you want to go for that classical version, I'm hoping I don't hit things back behind me. You might want to check out to see what's in your surrounding areas, and of course, always make sure you're in a safe area where you're not going to run into stuff. And we're inhaling and exhaling. In and out. One more time, inhaling and exhaling. Bringing the foot back down, facing the front and closing, arms sweep out to the side, coming all the way up or stopping at the breastbone, whichever works best for you. That's all three elements of swimming and qi. So, quick little pointers about balance. I've talked to you before about different ways of maintaining balance. I've talked about being a cake topper, right? Where if you're standing on one leg, if you imagine at the bottom of the foot, if you allow the energy to seep into the earth so that you've got a little more support, and even if you're not feeling energy sink into the earth, just that mental intent, the mind intent in Qigong, very important. Even if you just allow the mind intent to seep into the earth, that gives you some stability up here because you've got a base that's holding you, stabilizing you further within the earth. So you can kind of do whatever you want up top and you've got that stability. Henry talks about the leg that travels back behind us as being like a cat's tail, and bringing your mind intent to the back of the foot helps stabilize you. So if you start to feel off balance, you can guide that foot back to, starts with an I. Oh, the word. Oh, the word. Word. I'm so sorry. I've forgotten the word. But instinctually. So not necessarily planning where the back of the foot is going to go. You want it to go straight. But if you're off balance, playing with this foot and instinctually letting that foot go where it needs to go to help the balance, that works quite well. Finding an inanimate spot to focus in on, usually on the floor or low, so that as you're changing your altitude, you can keep spotting that one area. That will help your center of gravity and your balance. Speaking of center of gravity, if you think about the lower dantian, that's going to help with your balance. And then with this particular exercise, so I've talked about those elements before. With this particular exercise, sometimes what helps me is thinking about the action of the knee right above the knee on the quadricep as I'm coming up, pulling on that knee, pulling just above the knee at the where the quadricep meets the kneecap. That element of that pull helps stabilize me somewhat sometimes. So if you need a little extra something to help with balance, that can sometimes help, as well as the arms. So it's called swimming in chi. If you allow yourself to feel that sensation of swimming and pushing against the air as if it were water, that helps with stability as well. And so when you put them together, it really does help with the stability. If you're allowing yourself to have not tension, because we don't want lots of tension, but allowing that subtle sensation of allowing yourself the push-pull through the air as if it's water. And right now, it's rather humid for Los Angeles, so it actually does feel a little bit like we're pushing through water. What else? The last thing I wanted to say as far as balance goes, confidence helps a lot, a lot, a lot. If you are thinking to yourself, oh no, here we go, or what happens if I fall? You are actually more likely to fall. And you can tell when this thought goes through my mind, because I will wobble and then I'll get a big smile on my face because I'll be laughing at myself as to me not being very Qigong-like and allowing monkey mind thoughts coming into my mind about the potential of falling. All that being said, feel free to use the modified version. That really does compress the channels and the tissues in such a way that you're still activating the channels and the areas that you would want to be activating for this exercise. So playing on one leg is not necessary, but it is fun. So if you can play around with it safely, please do so. You also don't have to make the movements quite so dramatic. Being right here is just fine. That works too. Once again, it's all about activating the areas we want to activate, not getting a 10 on our floor routine in gymnastics. I don't know that they do 10s anymore. I'm a little older. All right, let's do the swimming in chi. We're gonna do 3 times on all the moves. Okay, so here we go. Opening. Inhaling, exhaling, in and out. One more time, inhaling and exhaling. Transition, inhaling, exhaling, inhaling, and exhaling, in and out. One more time, inhaling, and exhaling. Coming up to a standing position, turning about 45 degrees to the left, choosing your either classic or modified version of part 3. Inhaling, exhaling, in and out. One more time, inhaling and exhaling. Switching sides. Inhaling and exhaling. In and out. Inhaling and exhaling. Coming back to the center. Closing. And that's swimming in Qi, parts 1 through 3.